So the Iran-US tensions continue today. This is a situation that looks like it's only getting more serious, not de-escalating. And yeah, it's troubling developments today. So firstly, the Iraqi parliament, whilst chanting "Death to America," this is Iraq, not Iran, voted to expel all American troops in their country. Um, The Iranians, for their part, have vowed to totally tear up any sort of agreement from the Obama era and resume their nuclear program. And now Trump is talking about potentially targeting cultural sites. Now, of all the things that Trump has come out with in his 3 year presidency, this has to be one of the most incredibly inflammatory and stupid I can think of. And absolutely no one should attempt to defend that. Trump says that it's legitimate to target. No, his argument is, oh, they can kill our people and they can kill with impunity, and we can't do anything. That is a distortion of the rationale for targeting cultural sites. I do believe America can legitimately strike back if it is attacked. I said that I think it was legitimate to respond to the pro-Iranian mob attacking the American embassy, which is technically American soil, for example. So for Trump to try and say that it just shows how ignorant and crass this president is, just how flippant. There's another aspect to all of this which doesn't sit well with me, which is his failure to inform allies, his failure to inform Boris Johnson when we have troops in the region. Because any potential backlash will put them in the firing line as well. I mean, remember they were burning British flags alongside American flags, so they see us as the little Satan, America's big Satan. Um, I still think that the killing of Soleimani is not in itself a bad thing. Soleimani was a thug. He was the face of one of the world's most grotesque regimes, responsible for massive instability in the region, responsible for thousands of deaths, including many Americans. So I still have absolutely no tears over the death of Soleimani. Soleimani was a military target. But targeting cultural sites, would Trump really be that insane? I mean, we're talking about Iran, one of the world's oldest civilizations. In fact, along with Iraq and Egypt. Well, actually, even goes further back than ancient Egypt. If we talk about, if we look at ancient kingdoms like, of course, the Sumerians, and well, I don't need to give a history lesson. It goes without saying, Iran is one of the cradles of civilization, human civilization. So if Trump was so crass and stupid and reckless to do that, I will not defend that. I will not be, and I don't think anyone should. I would hope that there are people in the administration, Mike Pompeo, others around Trump, who rein in on such an insane move. It just shows how crass Trump can be. And no, this is not about Trump hating. This is about just common sense. Never, you know, uh, Bush or Reagan would not have come out with something like this. This is absolutely unacceptable. Even the threat of it, in my opinion. I don't think he would actually go ahead with it, but even the threat of it is only going to inflame tensions. If Iran strikes at American military targets, then strike at Iranian military targets. That is legitimate. That is the rules of war, the rules of engagement. Targeting cultural sites, say, for example, I don't know what Trump has in mind, but let's say, just off the top of my head, the Tomb of Cyrus the Great, something like that, or the ancient city of Qom, other sites across the country. I mean, it's what ISIS done. That would be morally really no different than what ISIS done, blowing up ancient monuments. I think this would absolutely poison America's image in the entire region, because this goes well beyond actually They're just showing Soleimani's funeral now. It's massive, possibly millions in attendance. It's always hard to tell with these. It reminds me of Nasser's death in Egypt, or more recently, Ayatollah Khomeini's death in Iran in 1989. The images there. Even if this is hot air, even if Trump isn't planning to actually do it, well, what does that serve? What sort of strategic advantage? Maybe it's some sort of psychological game, but what's that going to do? It's just going to polarize ordinary Iranians who might well hate Soleimani. Iranian dissidents, people in the Iranian diaspora, they can hardly stand by an American president threatening to blow up cultural sites in their homeland. That is very, very different than targeting a 41-year-old Islamist regime. So this needs to be understood. I absolutely don't support it. And I noticed that Johnson, Merkel, and Macron have issued a united statement on this, calling for de escalation and distancing themselves from those sort of sentiments. That's good. This is an area where we can work with our European allies. Let's not forget, we in Britain, yes, the United States is our ally, but let's not be so subservient that we always blindly go along with everything America does. And I think in this case, if Trump is so stupid to do this, we shouldn't back it. Absolutely not. Um, we shouldn't back Iran, that goes without saying, but we cannot be seen to be backing any notion of targeting cultural sites. To me, that is really Trump in his ignorance and in his crass, reckless attitude to foreign policy seems to think it's a trivial thing. We are talking about one of the world's oldest civilizations here. And the Islamist regime, the Ayatollahs can't claim that. They hijacked it, in my opinion. But it would be the equivalent of attacking China and blowing up, say, the Great Wall or the remnants of the Great Wall or something like that, or ancient tombs of Ming Dynasty kings. It's that sort of situation. Um, they're just showing archival footage here. There's violence protests, I should say, across the Middle East in response to this. The thing is, there are many, many, many people across the Middle East who are no friends of Iran and who applaud this action. But I think that Trump will find if he uses that sort of approach, um, it would backfire very badly. So I just wanted to be on record. I loathe the Iranian regime. I think this is a crisis that the Iranian regime started by attacking the American embassy, but any target of cultural sites is inexcusable, and I'm not going to excuse it.